So how did PDAC week start? Well, on Wednesday, my old pal, Jay Lutz, the editor of the Deep Dive, showed up at my house and it was on. We started off Thursday, 6 a.m., driving down to Red Cloud's pre-PDAC event.
We're on our way, pre-PDAC, going to see Red Cloud today. Trying to go find companies that you guys, our audience, might find interesting. These are very early stage companies, typically at a Red Cloud event. In the words of Peter Lynch, it's who turns over the most rocks wins, and I think that that's a big part of this. So we're going to go share the experience with you guys. You'll see it over on our channel, us turning over these rocks, meeting with these companies, and who knows, maybe we'll find a couple diamonds under these rocks. I'm joined with private investor Rob Saltzman. Rob, how's PDAC going so far?
Well, this is the pre-PDAC, the Red Cloud show, and I'm here to learn about some interesting companies.
Anything catching your eye?
I think Amarita's looking interesting if they can pull off that lawsuit that I think that the trial begins in another week or so. And the same group is also behind a company called Halcones with an interesting asset in Chile.
You're an investor in both?
I am.
All right, guys, we are at PDAC 2025. The goal today is to just go around and chat with various CEOs, investors, IR people, hear what the buzz is at PDAC 2025. We're going to be going to events. We're going to be chatting with pretty much anybody who is okay with us putting a mic in front of them and asking them what excites them, what they're here for, what their PDAC experience is like. And hopefully, if you're sitting at home and you've never been to PDAC before, you're going to get some value out of this and go, okay, maybe it's worth going there. Maybe it's not worth going there. But the goal here is to just give you guys an idea of what that experience is like, and maybe you'll decide to come join us at PDAC 2026. We're heading down to Grizzle's PDAC party. Thomas reached out, said, Steve, would love to have you, so I figured, hey, the tabs on the guys over at Grizzle, makes sense to me to show up to this event. I'm going to stop, pick up my buddy Mike, who's a former capital markets guy, a funny guy, he's a stand-up. So Mike, have you done a PDAC week before?
I used to be a big week every year, yeah. So I probably, 10 of them or so that I participated in fully, and then another 5 or so that were like this.
Day 3 now. PDAC's kind of getting started here, and the whole week really kicked off with the Grizzle event. We got to hang out with Terry Lynch, which was pretty cool. Lots of people I knew were at that Grizzle party at the Beer Bistro on King. It was a good party, big turnout. Lots of CEOs that you would know were at that event. There was pretty good energy, a lot of excitement about PDAC.
I got Dan Simmons here at PDAC 2025. Dan, congrats on the big deal.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me.
So you got $25 million US from Freeport McMoran coming in over the next 5 years. What can you tell us?
Yeah, we were very like-minded on what we thought needed to happen to the Bellows Gate project. We're a little company. It's 18 kilometers strike with 14 porphyry prospects. We've drilled into 4 of them. We've hit pretty good mineralization near surface. We know we're going to want to get some deeper holes. It changes the risk and capital profile for our shareholders. So we've entered into this deal, $25 million for them to earn 51%, and then they can fund another $50 million for an additional 24% to take their total investment to $75 million to earn 75%, where we're carried that entire time.
I'm with John Darsh and Ken McLeod from Sonoro Gold. Guys, how's PDAC week going?
Very good, thank you. Good reception.
So first, I got to ask you guys about what's happening in Mexico right now. We've seen some mining permits issued in the last couple of months. Ken, what does it mean for mining in Mexico?
There's been a sea change in the attitude of the Mexican government towards the miners in general, and specifically open pit miners. The new government under Claudia Sheinbaum is welcoming investment in the mining sector, and has specifically stated open pit mining is welcome in Mexico. So that's a sea change from what we had in the prior government.
Chris, how you liking PDAC?
PDAC's great. Bras Royale, respect.
I haven't been yet this year. The week's still young.
Yeah, it's only Sunday.
So what's the buzz?
Geez, man, the buzz is mining sucks. Let's be honest. There's no one here who's going to disagree with me, even the people that do it for a living. The markets are kind of weird. Trump is kind of weird. Nobody knows what they're going to be paying for all of the metals they're digging out of the ground or otherwise. So, I'm thinking of getting into insurance. I don't know.
Keith, how's PDAC going so far?
Pretty busy. I think it's a good show. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Sunday sometimes a little bit quieter, but Monday and Tuesday is hopefully going to go crazy. So yeah, it looks really good.
Alyssa, what's the buzz here at PDAC this year?
I think people are really excited compared to the last few years. You can actually see people on the floor. People are engaged. People are excited to see what's happening in the market, especially with gold.
So you think that gold's the commodity with the most buzz right now?
Anything's a good buzz right now, unless you're with lithium, but don't say that.
All right, I've got a junior mining investor legend here with me, Brian Hallett. Brian, thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much, Steve.
So how's PDAC going?
PDAC's going great so far. Getting a lot of interest. The gold space is coming around finally, I believe.
You know, I've been going to some events. Some people are saying there's really positive sentiment. Other people are saying to me, the Canadian junior markets are broken. What's your view on that?
I think those people are wrong. I believe that they've been in the toilet for a long time, but we're going to see a resurgence here this year.
So what can you tell us about your project here that you're with Rocky Shore Gold? What can you tell us?
We think we have one of the most prospective packages in the junior mining space. We've got, if you look back here, we've got 1,200 kilometers just due south of Newfound Gold's projects. All of the major faults that are host to what their deposits and their discoveries stretch right onto our property, and those would be the Appleton Fault and the JBP Fault.
I got Roger here from Goliath Resources. Roger,
Yes.
how's PDAC going?
Fantastic. I've been busy as a one-armed bandit in Vegas.
So I was chatting yesterday with Rob McEwen, and I asked him about the $10 million investment, which we called, by the way. We just said that there's no way Rob McEwen's going to look at these grades and not want a piece of Goliath. He came in, and so I asked him about it, and you know what he said? He said, I love high grade.
He does love high grade, and so do we, and so do our shareholders.
I'm joined with my old pal, Chris Timmins from Pegasus Resources. Chris, thanks for joining us.
It's been a while, Steve. Pretty good seeing you again.
So the last time I saw you at PDAC, the big talk was Red Lobster. You going back this year?
I heard it closed, didn't it?
I didn't know.
I don't know.
I
thought we were doing Ponderosa or something.
Ponderosa, that's a throwback. I don't think I've seen one of those in 25 years.
Nothing like a great tenderized steak.
So what's the buzz this year at PDAC? What are people talking about?
I think gold's really more of a story this year than it was last year. So a lot of gold talk. Seems like the gold's really what people are talking about. Uranium's, it kind of fell off the radar, let's be honest. The best thing in the world is like uranium supply, demand just keeps going, we don't have enough. And every time the news comes out, uranium stocks go down. So it's a tough market at the end of the day. You have all the bullish news in the world and your equities are going down. But it's, at the end of the day, this is just a tough market and everyone will navigate it and get through it and come out the other side better.
Corey, what's happened with uranium over the last few months? It's been kind of beat up a bit.
Yeah, uranium, the spot price has come off a little, which is, a fictitious market anyways, a bit opaque. You can't really do much with it. Long-term contracting, though, continued to climb, sitting around $80 a pound. In the last 6 or 7 months, it's climbed about 36, 37%. That's a big climb for long-term contracting. That's the key. That's the signpost. So I'm actually not fussed at all about the fundamentals. Ignore spot price, long-term contracting. That's the key.
So Canalaska, last time we spoke to you, you guys had some pretty massive drill holes. What was it? Was it 10 meters of 5%? What was it again?
10 meters of 15% and 15 meters of 10.
Yeah, 10 of 15,
and
15
we
of
just
10.
announced 15 of 12.
So it just keeps getting better.
It's getting better. It's getting better.
When we spoke with you before, there was this calm confidence about you that you've got a tiger by the tail here.
Yeah, we're working on the body now. So I'm happy with the tail, and the body's looking good too. So things are looking really good for our Pike Zone, that ultra high grade discovery. I really like what we see, and the team loves it too.
We're doing a bit of a video here for retail investors on what the PDAC experience is like. How many PDACs have you done before?
Oh, wow. 15, 20, something like that. Yeah, a lot.
And what advice do you have to any investors sitting at home? They're watching us on YouTube. They're saying, okay, maybe I'll go down to PDAC next year. What advice do you got for them?
if there's one event you do in the year, PDAC's the one.
PDAC's the one.
From a corporate level, if we don't do any others this year, this is one we must come to. It's the best traction on the floor. It's the best traction with investors, funds. Everybody's here. 25,000 people all in one space in one city, all talking the same language. Resources, financing, contractors. It's a great place to come. So this is the one to do. It's special.
I'm joined with Jordy Mark from currently, I guess we could say, private company, Blue Jay Resources, inside a public company.
That's true.
But it's about to be spun out, so you're about to become CEO of a gold junior based out of Ontario. What can you tell us?
Steve, thank you for the interview. Great to be in growth and discovery in gold, especially in Ontario, Canada. What a great story Blue Jay Gold is. It's a spin out of Riverside. Fantastic assets in Ontario near the Greenstone Gold Mine. We've got 3 projects, about 80 square kilometres of ground to prospect, and what's amazing work that was done in this 70 years ago, high grade at surface that we'll follow up on. Fantastic drilling, a rejuvenated brownfields area production centre. Just following up on that high grade at surface with 12 kilometres of strike length on the trends with banded iron formations in those structures. Very exciting time to be in gold exploration, something new.
I got Simon Diakowski with me here. Simon, how's PDAC going?
Hey, pretty good. It's great to see that we don't have the curse of the PDAC this year. That got out of the way last week, it seems.
Well, the curse of the PDAC, tell me about that.
Well, that's a bit of a joke for those of us that have been here for many years, but sometimes it's a bit of a rough week in the market when this conference gets started, but gold's off to a strong start today, silver's rebounding, and seems to be some pretty good energy on the floor here.
So how many PDACs do you think you've been to in your life?
Probably about 15, yeah.
I've got the great Frank Callahan with me. Frank, how's PDAC going?
Outstanding, wonderful, exciting.
What is the buzz this year at PDAC?
Golden Caribou Resources and that last drill hole.
What was the drill hole again? Do you remember, Jordan, off the top of your head?
Hang on.
Did this last time too?
Last drill hole.
What was it? 99 grams per ton at over 237 meters.
Holy shit! Who does that?
I got my old pal, John Mark Stouty here. John Mark, how's PDAC going?
PDAC is so much fun. You know, we've been here 17 years, and for us, coming to this conference is so like old friends week, also new business week. I love it.
So what's Riverside hoping to get accomplished this week?
For us, the biggest thing is the share separation and the spin out. The end of March, we'll actually have the vote, and from that vote, we'll be able to spin out Blue Jay from Riverside. So for us, this is very good because the valuation on Riverside is so low. With the spin out, it really unlocks value. I'm really excited. That's a key thing for us here.
I'm here with Mike Berkey from Sitka Gold. Mike, how's PDAC going so far?
It's going great, really busy. We're having a lot of people come by the booth. So yeah, we're usually happy this time of year, and we definitely are this year.
How many years have you been going to PDAC for? Like, what number of PDAC is this for you?
Oh God, I'd be up well above a dozen. I'm a West Coast guy. I live in Whitehorse. Our project's in there, Yukon. I used to work for the survey up there. So the roundup, I've got a running record back to 1983. But PDAC, I'm a little less. I'm up in the dozen or so mark.
Morgan, how is PDAC week going so far?
Well, the first 14 minutes of me being here seems to be going okay. Just got off the plane, but look, the response has been great from the feedback I've been getting so far on what we're doing with Premium and how we're actually transitioning the company through its kind of bottoming tough phase into that critical metals fight against China in Botswana. You know, you got some very large assets here that need capital. We're putting $44 million to work in them, and we're going to start launching this company to the next stage.
I got Bill Stormont with me. Bill, how's your PDAC week going so far?
It's been great. I think there's a lot of energy on the floor here. I think you're seeing a lot of interesting companies, a lot of engagement with investors and corporate development types. So yeah, I think it's been a really good week.
And how many PDACs have you done before?
This will be about my fifth, I think. Yeah. So I'm not one of the old grizzled timers, but I've seen, I think, enough of them. Although, you know, I haven't seen the great bull market cycle that everyone wants to see. It's been, you know, hard graft throughout most of the ones I've attended.
I'm joined with Stephen Stairs from Benton Resources. Stephen, how's your PDAC week going?
It's been going great. Lots of interest, lots of people coming by, and very busy.
So since we last spoke, Benton, what's the latest? What's the plan for this summer? What can you tell us?
Well, since we last spoke in VRIC, we've continued drilling. We put some news out in the last couple of days. More massive sulfide hits, new discoveries parallel to the main zone. We currently got geophysics on the go, and we're going back drilling as soon as the geophysics is done. So we'll be doing probably another 15 to 20,000 meters of drilling this year.
I've got Sean Gregerson here with me from Galliano Gold. Sean, thanks for joining us. How's your PDAC week going?
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, a lot of interest in the company. It's been busy beyond belief. Yeah.
So, high level, what's the story here?
Galliano's in a growth phase. We're investing into our own asset. We've got a production profile that's second to none in the industry. We're going to grow about 75% over the next 4 years. Currently, this past year, we did 115,000 ounces of production at our Asenko mine in Ghana. This year in 2025, it'll be 130 to 150, and then in the next few years, we're going to ramp it up to 230 to 260.
I'm joined with Rob Van Egmond here at PDAC 2025. Rob, how is PDAC going?
Oh, it's excellent. Yeah, it's pretty busy. We're people stopping by, interested in the story, and a lot of shareholders just coming to meet us in person and catch up on the good news and learn about what we're doing next year. Big program again, so it's been good.
I'm joined with the great Rob McLeod from various companies, Dolly Varden, Nations Royalty. Are there any other names you're a board member of?
So I'm a director of Next Gold, and within the Fiore group, I'm helping out companies like Argenta, Libero Copper. So we all collectively work as a team, and either representing some of Frank Juster's companies, or more specifically, as you see with Nations Royalty, Indigenous groups, and that want to get into the capital markets.
So, Rob, what number PDAC is this for you? How many PDACs have you done before?
So my first one was in 1996, and I think I have gone every year since then. I don't think that I've missed. There's a couple, maybe I was in the field.
So, like, we'll say you've done...
probably, maybe I missed 2 or 3 of them.
So we'll say you've done like 25 PDACs.
Yeah, but that's probably a pretty fair count.
Any tips for any retail investors sitting at home? They've never been to a PDAC before. They're thinking of coming. You got any advice for them?
100%. If you come in person to the PDAC, go to the core shack. Go and actually, even if you're not a geologist, if you're not trained, go and take a look at the rocks they have and get them to explain it to you. What are these minerals? What am I looking at here? It is the best bullshit detector that you can have, right? You can come and say, is that gold? It's not gold, but they might try to bullshit you and think that it is. But it is really the best way, honestly, to understand, particularly for some of the new commodities, such as, say, antimony, which is a flavor of the day, to learn about exploration, mining, and geology. And importantly, at the core shacks, you get to meet some of the regular geologists rather than some of the greasy promoters.
I'm joined with Derek Paddington from Nation Royalties. Derek, how is PDAC going?
It's been going great. Lots of investors have been coming by the booth, and it's also a good opportunity for us to meet with lots of Indigenous groups that are in town here. Keep pushing those talks forward.
So what's the goal for you guys this week at PDAC?
One, to help continue to get the Nation's Royalty story out there and make sure people are aware that in 2024, Indigenous peoples of Canada entered the stock market in a major way, and also to just carry on conversations we've been having with different Indigenous groups, because our top goal for 2025 is to expand new partnerships beyond just the Nisga'a and grow this royalty company into something bigger.
I'm here with Ian Harris from Libero Copper. Ian, how's PDAC going?
I think there's a vibe and some excitement out there, and I think we really are there's an anticipation of big things coming this year. So that helps energize us all as a whole.
So it's day 3 of the conference, but for a lot of people it's like day 6, depending on when they got here. Is there any buzz you're hearing at this conference? What are people talking about?
So I think there's many aspects, right? There is an anticipation of the commodity prices run. There's a feeling that that there's similarities to other bulls where there's lots of volatility right in the beginning, but then it starts to pick up, maybe driven by the precious metal space. but then there's also anticipation that floating all boats, things will start moving in the right direction. The world obviously needs it, et cetera, et cetera. So that's been a kind of a repeating theme over and over and over again.
So I'm with Joe Campbell, who is here holding up the Power Metallic, formerly Power Nickel site here at the Core Shack. Joe, walk us through the core here that Power Metallic has.
Well, we're drilling a nickel deposit starting in 2022, and at the end of 2023, we ended up coming across a copper deposit. It seems to be associated with the nickel deposit, but it's purely a copper with very high platinum, palladium, silver, gold associated with it. The best part of the mineralization, which is displayed in the core here, is right against the rock type that would have held the nickel deposit. And the numbers on the copper here are, some of this stuff is as high grade as other people's copper concentrate in terms of the grade of the deposit.
So here we are at the Canadian Pavilion at PDAC 2025. So on the Tuesday, there was a big press conference with the federal government of Canada, the provincial government, where they came out and they said that there was going to be over $100 million from the federal government being invested into Frontier Lithium for a lithium processing facility. I'm here with Trevor Walker from Frontier Lithium, who got the big announcement here at PDAC with the federal government giving you guys, I believe it was $120 million in investment, plus the provincial government talking about over $100 million. Congratulations, Trevor.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been quite a journey to get to this point, and many years of work and investment and collaboration and building partnerships, and it's been a heck of a road. We're really excited that government has really stepped up to the plate to support us, and this is really a testament of delivering on the strategy.
Later on, Frontier put out a news release kind of backtracking what they put out in their own news release, because it's just an LOI at this point, a letter of intent. So there's nothing definitive about it. Frontier may or may not receive those funds. I have to say that what I thought was really interesting, just being there and getting to stand in the scrum and watch everybody ask the questions, was how little anybody actually knew about what was going on. Not a single question was asked about the price of lithium, and how since Frontier did their original PEA, the price of lithium is now cut in half of the price point that they used for lithium. And what happened with Nemaska, how they basically went down the same path, burned $1 billion and ultimately went into bankruptcy, and how the Canadian government thinks that this is going to be a good idea to move forward with. In fact, I was speaking with somebody on the floor and I said, what's the buzz? What's everybody talking about? And her name was Alyssa Patterson, and she joked, it's not lithium. And sure enough, what was the big announcement that the federal government wanted to make? The Minister of Natural Resources, Jonathan Wilkinson, a big lithium investment. So that's kind of comical that it went down like that. As the week progressed, we finished it off with the first Majestic event. It's usually like the biggest event at PDAC that everybody wants to go to. Everybody wants a ticket. In the past, they've actually gotten into trouble with the city for letting too many people into the event. So it gives you a sense of just how popular of an event it is and how many people are there. They're capped at 1,500, but I suspect that there's been years where there's been over 3,000 people there. So you can see how popular of an event it is. It's a free entrance into the aquarium. You get a couple of drinks, and there's also lots of people in the industry. So for First Majestic, it's turned out to be this great marketing idea because everybody talks about it as the event at PDAC, and their name is front and center on it. That event ended up being a spectacular event, as it usually is. If you're watching this and you're saying, how do I get an invite? If you are a shareholder of First Majestic, then you should probably email their IR team and say that you want an invite next year. I'm sure that they'll do what they can. Tell them Small Cap Steve sent you. That'll get you in. Overall, a productive week at PDAC. We learned some new things, made some really great contacts this year. And the last thing that I want to leave this with is, if you've never been to PDAC before and you're thinking about making your first trip, my advice, don't be afraid to just go down. It's $25 for one day. Get there early, talk to as many people as you can. You can go to the core shack, see some of the results. We got to see Power Metallics results, chatting with their team who discovered those. Don't be afraid to go to PDAC. These companies, they want to talk to you if you're an investor. And I promise you that it is what you make of it. If you go in there with a positive attitude and you just want to learn and meet lots of people, you will have the time of your life. But if you go in there and are like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, you'll quickly find that you don't want to be there. That's the honest truth. All right, everybody, until next year, thanks for watching.